on YouTube. Hey everyone. Good morning. I am super excited to be here with you. I am so excited to start our very first growth mindset masterclass. First things you are going to do is grab your workbook. You are going to need this handout to follow on today's masterclass. Go to lifepixuniversity.com /live/1. The links is right here in the comments. Go and grab it. LifePixUniversity.com /live/1. And while we are waiting for everyone to come on and join us for this early morning, I mean, at least if you're on the East Coast like me, put in the comments, tell me where you are from, tell me what you do, and we are going to get this started. I am excited. Super excited. You know how much, if you've been following me, you know how much I love growth mindset and how much I think it is this success to anything. And if you want to be successful, you've got to have your growth mindset. So how do you actually go and we're going to be a whole series to actually develop your growth mindset to understand how you can go and improve it, how you can go and make it better. And we're going to do this. This is our very first one, growth versus fixed mindset. What's the difference? Okay, let us see who we've got here. Hey, Stevio from the South, and you identify as a horse. Well, hello. I am excited to be here. Grab your handout, lifepixuniversity.com /live/1. Okay, growth versus fixed mindset. Put in the comments also if you know already what a growth mindset is or it's your first time hearing about it, just so I know like where we're at, who we're speaking to, how much background we need to give you. I am going to start as soon as we hit 8 o'clock here on the East Coast for those people who are willing to wake up super early on a Sunday morning to learn more about themselves and how they can go and improve their growth mindset. Okay, so here we are. First off, hi there. My name is Esther Rappaport. I'm a productivity coach and I help young professionals rewire their brain to be more efficient and effective. And the very first thing you've got to do to be more efficient and effective or actually be successful in any area of your life, you've got to develop your growth mindset. So, what's a growth mindset? That is what we are going to discuss today. Head over to lifepixuniversity.com /live/1 to grab your workbook so you know what we are talking about today. So you can go and follow along in our workbook. Okay, today we are going to be covering 3 important points. Number 1, we're going to be covering what's the difference between a fixed and growth mindset. Number 2, we're going to assess whether you have a fixed or growth mindset. And number 3, we are going to discuss different ways to start developing a growth mindset today. Doesn't have to wait long, doesn't have to be something grand, it doesn't have to be something expensive. You could actually start developing your growth mindset today. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the assessment. We're going to assess where your mindset is standing. You're going to have to go to lifepixuniversity.com /live/1 to take the assessment. It's really short. What you're going to do is you are going to look at that questions. If you have a second to print it out, go and print it out. If you are watching the replay, then for sure hit live, print it out, and go and take it. And if not, then you could just look at it on your screen and write down. You're going to read each sentence and you are going to decide for yourself which one is true. A true which one is for you true? You're going to circle. Is it true or is it false? You're going to read each statement and decide if it is true or false for you. So I am going to give you a couple of minutes to go and grab that handout, print it out, and take the assessment. Let us see. Where are you at? Meanwhile, if you have any questions, shoot them in the comment section and I can answer them for you. If you missed it, go to lifepixuniversity.com /live/1 and grab your handout. Okay, one more minute. Just look at your questions and see whether they are true or false for you. What we're going to do afterwards is we are going to go through them, and I am going to tell you whether each statement is a fixed mindset or a growth mindset based on whether you said that is true or false. Okay? So some of these statements are fixed, some of these statements are false, some of these statements are fixed, some of these statements are growth, and we are going to see what is what based on what you've got. Okay, so let us do this. Our very first statement is if I have to work hard at something, it means I'm not smart. True or false for you? What did you circle? If you circle true, that is a fixed mindset. This sentence is a fixed mindset. So if you circle true, that is a fixed mindset. Number two, I acknowledge the work I put into something. This is a growth mindset. So if you circle true for you, you have somewhat of a growth mindset. Number three, I usually quit when something gets difficult or frustrating. That is a fixed mindset. Did you circle true or false for you? Number four, I don't mind making mistakes. They help me learn. Is that a true or false statement for you? I don't mind making mistakes. They help me learn is a growth mindset. I don't mind, right? Because you're growing from your mistakes. Number five, when I make mistakes, I get embarrassed. Is that true or false for you? That is a fixed mindset. Number six, there are some things I'll just never be good at. Just never. I'll never be good at this. What do you think? Is that a fixed or growth mindset? Put it in the comments. Yes, correct. That is a fixed mindset. Okay. Number seven, I am happy when other people succeed. Is that a fixed or growth mindset? That is a growth. Very good. Number eight, anyone can learn something if they work hard at it. Is that true or false for you? Do you believe that anyone could learn anything if they work hard at it? That is a growth mindset statement. Number nine, people can't change how smart they are. Is that true or false? What do you think? People can't change how smart they are. That is a fixed mindset. Number 11, I like to try things. Oh, no, I skipped number 10. Doing my best makes me proud, even if it's not perfect, but I did my best. That is a fixed or growth mindset. Yes, that is a growth mindset. Number 11, I like to try things that are hard. Is that true or false for your statement? And then number 12, I tend to make excuses when I fail. Hoo-hoo. Do you blame other people or do you tend to make excuses when you fail? That is a fixed or growth mindset. What do you think? Is that a fixed or growth mindset? Yes, correct. That is a fixed mindset. Now, is that true or false for you? Now, what you're going to do is you are going to add up which ones were true. How many statements did you make up were true for you? And you are going to compare it to on the second paper right over here. You'll have the answers in case you forgot and you are not sure. It says for each one, if it's true or false. And you are going to see, is your general mindset false? Is it your general mindset fixed? Or is your general mindset growth? Okay, write it on the line. We have now assessed if generally you have a fixed or growth mindset. Now, what is a growth mindset? What is a fixed mindset? What is the difference between them? A growth mindset believes that your intelligence and your talents can be developed over time. So when you work hard at something, when you learn, you develop your growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that your intelligence and your challenges stay that way. Okay. So, however smart you were born with these certain talents, you were born with these certain capabilities, and that's how you are going to stay forever. Too bad. That's it. You are going to stay like that forever. Maybe you could change them a little bit in some areas, but most things not. So what you're going to do now is in your handout that you got on the bottom of the paper, there is two boxes. One box that says fix and one box that says growth. You are going to write different character traits in each box. What does a person with a growth mindset have, and what does a person with a fixed mindset have? So I'll give you some examples and you'll go and then continue. A growth mindset loves to learn and loves to try new things. A fixed mindset doesn't like to try new things, isn't very interested in learning. They're scared that if they do try something, they're just going to fail, and it makes them look like a bad person. Speaking of which, a fixed mindset cares a lot about their image. They don't want to do something that makes them look so called bad. A growth mindset, on the other hand, doesn't care about what it looks like. They know what it means to them. They are going to learn more. They are going to develop more about themselves, and they are going to try it. They are going to learn new things. Growth mindset also, when they fail, they learn from their mistakes and they don't give up. They continue going, they continue moving, and they go on. They realize, they recognize the mistakes, and they move on. They learn from it there. A fixed mindset, on the other hand, doesn't like to fail. They try to pretend they didn't fail. They try to make up excuses. They try to look different ways. Fixed mindset very much believes that there are some things they are never going to be able to learn. I just can't learn math. I just can't. I'm just like not a math person, and I just can't learn math. Or I'll just never be a good cook. Right? Fixed mindset likes to use the word like never, or I won't be able to, impossible, I can't. Mindset says I'll try, I'm going to be able to do this, I'll figure out a way, those type of things. So I am going to give you a minute now to write a few more different character traits between the growth mindset and a fixed mindset. What have you got there? Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, if you took the assessment and you saw there, you were pretty much like some things you believed in and some things you were like, oh, I'm not so sure about. Do I have a fixed or do I have a growth mindset? Well, guess what I have to tell you? Every single person has a fixed and growth mindset. We all have both fixed and growth mindset, because anything that you are good at, anything that you learned, you had to have a growth mindset. If when you are a baby and you learned to walk, you had to have a growth mindset. Think about how many times you had to fall, you fell, and how many times you had to get up, and how many times you had to try again to walk again. You for sure had a growth mindset then. If you are really like to paint, then you have a growth mindset in it, because I'm sure you made some bad paintings, and I'm sure that there were times when it was really hard and really frustrating for you, but you didn't give up, and you today enjoy the painting and continue learning new techniques to get better at painting. But there are also some of you that are listening right now and say, I just can't paint. I don't know how to paint. You've got a fixed mindset on this. You think that you're never going to be a painter, and you think that you can't paint. So when we did this assessment before, what we were assessing is really what is your default. That's why the question is, what is your general mindset? When things get challenging, when things get tough, when things go out of your ordinary on a regular day, do you go and tend more towards the growth mindset, or do you tend more to the fixed mindset? So, what we're going to do now is, if you look on your next paper of your handout, and if you're just joining us now, you could grab this handout at lifepixuniversity.com/live/1. And right over here on the top of the third page we're currently at on this handout, it says, I have a growth mindset in schoolwork, home, relationships, hobbies, and yeah, that's four. School or work, depending where you're at in your life right now, home, relationships, and hobbies. And you are going to think of four things in these four areas, one for each of them, or if you want to do more, that would be even better, and see where you have a growth mindset. Maybe at work, you have a really growth mindset in the way you answer emails. You've developed a really good system in how you answer emails. You're not busy with it all day, 3 times a day. You just answer emails. You know when you're going to come to your emails, you're going to have a whole bunch of them at a time because you only answer 3 times a day, but it ends up keeping you more centered and focused and you could do your work. Or maybe at school, you have a growth mindset in history. You learn history, you work hard at it, you study it well, you make sure to do all the necessary work for it and go work at your history. At home, do you have a growth mindset in cooking? Maybe you really enjoy cooking and you know how to cook dinner and you're proud of what you cook. What do you do at home that you feel really good at? In your relationships, do you have a partner or a best friend or a relationship with your parents, somewhere where you know you have a growth mindset? That relationship not always is it easy, but you are willing to do the work to make that relationship succeed. And what is a hobby that you have a growth mindset in? Is it biking? Is it singing? Is it dancing? Is it creating TikToks? What is a hobby that you have a growth mindset in? Let's go. Let's show yourself that you do have that growth mindset. Even if your general mindset is fixed. Now, you go to the second part of the page. It says, I have a fixed mindset that I need to change in. And now you're going to go back to each of these 4 areas and you are going to write on the line right next to it, what is something that you have a fixed mindset in? So maybe at work, your fixed mindset is when your boss gives you like a really big task or a new thing your manager all of a sudden tells you have to do, that you know what, they're changing you to a different department and you are mad about it, you don't know how to do this is not what you signed up for, and you just have a really fixed mindset about it. Maybe at home you have a really fixed mindset about laundry. You hate laundry, it's so boring. Every time the basket you finish empty the laundry basket, it just gets full again. What is it at home? What's it in relationships? Who's this one person that you just can't get on in relationships? Or maybe there's one part of relationships in general. Maybe you have a really fixed mindset about vulnerability. You just think that you just will never be able to be vulnerable. What is it in relationships that you have a fixed mindset in? And then last but not least, where do you have a fixed mindset in hobbies? Where's your fixed mindset? There's some things that you're just never going to be able to do. You really want to learn how to play guitar, but you're just never going to be able to do it. So go ahead and write for each one of them one thing that you have a fixed mindset in and you want to change it. Now, if you'll notice, there's a second line next to each one of them because we are now going to discuss ways for you to be able to change your mindset right now. And you're going to write down on the line how you are going to change it. What are you going to do to start heading in the right direction to a growth mindset? Now, we're going to do later another live, the steps to a growth mindset. It's not something that just like happens overnight. So you have a fixed mindset and then like flip, all of a sudden you are amazing at it and you're constantly growing and you're constantly learning and you just could get this happening. Not always does it work like that. Some days, yes, you just like wake up very motivated and happens, but usually, generally, we it takes a process. It's like, maybe I think I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna think how it works out. And then you go and you build up on the steps of the growth mindset. But here are some things for you to start moving in that direction. Are you ready? First thing I want you to be aware of is your language. What words are you using when you speak about this topic? When you speak about this specific thing that you find really hard in, right? So let's say you think that you can never be productive. Guess what? Your brain is not going to allow you to be productive because you're constantly saying, I'm not productive, I'm not productive, I'm not productive, right? So instead, you have to change your language so that way it says maybe I'm learning to be productive. You don't want to go and say I am productive if you're not productive, because then you're just going to lie and your brain's just not going to believe it. So you want to say something that is going to shift it a little bit, that doesn't say I'm not productive, but rather I'm learning to be productive. I'm not productive yet. I'm going to be productive soon. I'm trying this new productivity tips. What else can I do to be productive? Change that language so that way it's a little bit more productive. So maybe you wrote that for work, at work or at school, you just don't feel like you're productive, and you're going to go and change that. So look at your sentences and see your fixed mindset statements by each one of them, how you could maybe change the language. So when you talk about it and when you think about yourself, it's a little bit more of a growth mindset statement. The next thing you want to do is you want to just start learning about it. You want to Google YouTubes, you want to listen to podcasts, you want to watch TikToks, you want to take out books. If you're up to the next level, you're really serious about it, you want to take courses or a coach and really start learning about that thing, right? So let's say you want to improve your relationship with your partner and you think that you love your partner, but you don't really see how you could like make it the best. You think it's like now okay, but you want to make it even better. So go start listening to relationship podcasts. There are hundreds of them. Go start watching YouTubes. There are millions of them. Go start learning whatever you could. Books. Go to the library. You don't even have to buy them and buy these relationship books. Just start learning about it. So you put your mind in that growth mindset. Remember, people with a growth mindset are constantly learning and constantly improving themselves. That's the difference. They're not especially masters, they are constantly growing and constantly learning. The next thing you're going to want to do is make sure you take action. It doesn't help to just watch YouTubes or listen to podcasts all the time if you don't go and do what they say. So, what you're going to do is next to every single line, or you are going to schedule a time this week where you are going to take at least one tiny step in the direction so you move away from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So if there's a hobby that you want to learn more about, maybe you want to start gardening this week, this spring. Spring is coming up and you want to garden, you want to learn more about like putting which flowers to put and you like it and you want to make it all pretty and you want to develop this hobby. So, number one, you're going to change that language. You're going to say, I am starting to learn how to plant, not that I know nothing about it. Number two, you're going to start learning about it. Go take out books, watch YouTubes, whatever you need to do to go and learn about it. And then number three, you are going to schedule a time this week for you to start taking action. Are you going to go buy certain seeds, certain soils? Are you going to go get equipment? Schedule a time this week for you to start taking action. And then I want to remind you a really, really important thing. You are going to fail. You heard me. You are going to fail. As you learn something new, you are going to fail. That's part of life. And that is how we learn. But with the growth mindset, we don't look at it as a failure and as a bad identity. Remember, go back to the boxes in the beginning on the second page of the difference between a fixed and growth mindset. People with a growth mindset, not especially our masters, not especially at the top of the world. They are constantly learning and constantly growing. And that means they're making mistakes and that means they're improving on themselves. And guess what happens when you are constantly learning and improving yourself? You go and eventually become that master. You go and learn that skill and take it to the next level. Because when you fail and you learn, then you just become better and you become better and you become better. So it takes time, but you will get there and improve. But the growth mindset part is not about getting there at the end. The growth mindset part is about valuing the process over the outcome. You are understanding that in this process, you are learning and you are growing and you are becoming better. And that is how you become at the top of the world. Okay, quick recap. Let us go through what is the definition between a fixed or growth mindset. Growth mindset is constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly wanting to improve. When they fail, they don't give up. They just go and they give more. And a fixed mindset believes that they were born a certain way, there are certain talents that they have, certain abilities that they had, and that's how they are basically going to stay for the rest of their lives. Number two, we each have a fixed and growth mindset. We have both of them. The question is where you default to in times of challenges and when things go out of ordinary. And number three, you now are going to start improving your fixed mindset by using the tips we described of changing your language, learning about it, and scheduling a time to actually take action. Woohoo! That was amazing. I had so much fun with you here today. Thank you so much for joining me. And hit me up on Instagram at LifePix University if you have any more questions about what's the difference between fixed and growth mindset. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you.